Welcome to my presentation on the present continuous in English. So I want to look at two things again. First, I want to do a quick revision on what we talked about last time about the present simple, and then I want to compare directly some examples in the present simple and in the present continuous. So first, let's just quickly look over what we did last time. So we had our timeline with the point now, and we said this is normally how we conceive time, as a linear system. So we have the past and the future. So we said last time that when we talk about the present simple, we're talking about something where time is not necessary. So when we said last time, for example, I play tennis, we're talking about something that happens in general. It's not on our line here. It's something that's in the past, in the present, in the future. It's a fact. It's something that just happens in general. If, however, we want to consider something that's happening around the moment now, something that's happening at the moment now, for example, I'm playing tennis, this is the present continuous. So what do we mean by present continuous? Well, it's something that's in a limited time, a time that started before now and that finishes after now. So how do we visualize this on our timeline? Well, it's easy. If we think about something that's limited, if it started before now, it must be somewhere here. And if it finishes after now, it must finish somewhere here in the future. So we can imagine that our action is happening within a sort of bubble of time. So in here, we can say we're playing tennis. So in this period, we're playing tennis. The big difference, of course, is in our first example, play is the basic form of the verb. In our second example, play includes an ing form and also the auxiliary verb to be. So this is the structural difference. First of all, when we see be plus an ing on the end of the verb, we know that this is the kind of perception we're thinking about. Something that happens now, that started before now, and that will finish after now. We can call this a temporary period of time, a limited period of time, and that's basically what we're looking at with the present continuous. So let's look at two examples to give you a better idea of what we're talking about. The first example, the simplest to talk about, what you do in your life every day, you work. So, for example, I work in marketing. So like we said that last time, this is the present simple. We have the verb work in the basic form, and it means it's something I do every day. It's a general fact about myself. But let's compare that with the example of I'm working. So let's say, for example, I work in marketing, and at the moment I'm working on a new project. So two examples, one in the present simple, one in the present continuous. If we think about this on our timeline, so we take the moment now, we said that when we see the verb, which is work, plus the ing and to be auxiliary, so we have to be auxiliary verb ing on the end of our main verb, that means it's something that is happening now. So something that is happening now. something that started before now and that will finish after now. So we're talking again in this bubble of time. In here we have our project. Marketing is something I do every day. I do it here, I do it here, I do it here. We said last time if it's present simple, it's something we do all the time. There's no consideration for time. So here I'm in marketing, here I'm in marketing, here I'm in marketing, here, etc., etc., etc. I'm in marketing. But the project is in the present continuous, so it must be limited. It's not here, it's not here. It's limited between 2 points and it's happening now. Now, of course, we can see that in contrast to playing tennis, when I say I'm playing tennis, it's happening now. I'm currently on the court hitting the ball. Here I'm working on a new project. Well, I can say that now, but I'm not. I'm sitting at my computer. I'm not in my job working on my new project. But it is still something before now and after now, starting before now and finishing after now, so it satisfies our rules. And so in English we can see this as something temporary. And maybe that's the best way to think about the present continuous, as something temporary as opposed to something permanent. Okay, so the difference between something permanent, I work in marketing, and something temporary, I'm working on a new project. Let's look at one more example just to make a better contrast. Perhaps a little bit more difficult, but it's definitely worth looking at. Okay, let's look at the present simple. I go on holiday to Spain. And in the present continuous, I'm going on holiday to Spain. Now, what's the difference between these two statements? First of all, we can see that the verb is in the basic form, go, and here going, we have the to be auxiliary verb. Sorry, I'm changing colors here. To be auxiliary verb and ing form, so immediately we know this example must be something limited. So let's look at our timeline. Here we go. Now, okay, past and future. So in our first example, I go on holiday to Spain. It's present simple, so we know it's a fact. It's not necessary to talk about the time. It's something that happens all the time, past, present, future. It's a general fact about my life, about my preferences. For holiday, my preference is Spain. In this example, I'm going to Spain. I'm going on holiday to Spain. We know that it's limited to be, ing, so there must be a point before now and after now. But that's strange. We know if I say I'm going on holiday to Spain, now it's October. When am I going on holiday? Probably December. So what is this point? How did we have a point before now when I'm in Spain in the future? So here I'm in Spain. But here I'm not in Spain. So how can we make our time bubble valid? How can we say in here our action is going on? Well, what is involved in going on holiday? It's not just flying in the plane and going to Spain, which is here in December. It's also, at the moment, I'm organizing my hotel. Maybe next week I'm organizing my rental car. And here you can imagine the starting point of this process, not the action, but the process would be to buy your tickets. So you're on EasyJet or something like that, EasyJet. You're buying your tickets. And that starts the process. Once you've bought your tickets, this process is valid. You buy your tickets, you prepare the hotel, you prepare the car. Maybe here you make your hotel reservations. Here you book the car. Here you're making reservations for the train or a taxi to get to the airport. Here you're packing your suitcase. It's a process. And so we are still in between 2 points. We are still in between the beginning and the end, the start and the finish of this action. So we're not in Spain now. We cannot say I'm in Spain at the moment, but we can say that I'm going on holiday. It started before now when I bought the tickets, and it will finish after now when I arrive in Spain. And this is one of the key considerations to make about the present continuous. In the future, when we look at how to talk about the future in English, this is really important to remember this distinction. The present continuous is to talk about things that are happening now, but more specifically, something that happened that started before now and that will finish after now.